Previously on the preseason power ranking show.
Oh, we don't say that here. Sorry.
The colored jerseys at home are better, because, which you may know by another offensive name, which we will not use here.
No.
But
offensive to Matt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. No, that's my bad.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think I deliberately avoided saying that.
We gotta see where the come up with a cool metaphor for me, Matt. Quick. See where the cards lie. See where the tides go.
All bets are off.
All bets are off. There we go. Thank you.
I believe John Gibson is the best goaltender in his 20s in the entire other league.
Least boring GM in the history of the SACHL.
I am racked with insecurity around this process.
Do you ever get tired of this? Never. A lot of. Okay, here we go. SICHL GMs and all of you. Oh, I forgot Sheetal, our boy. Can't believe I forgot him. Sorry, Sheetal.
I'm rarely disappointed in you, but today
I'm so pleased you're rarely disappointed in me. The reason we're all giggling
a compliment.
is there's a lot of. I'm an optimistic guy. A lot of shenanigans. A lot of behind-the-scenes shenanigans going on, which you will never be privy to, unless you ask us about it in 4 years at wherever the next SICHL summit might be.
So we're at number 20.
We're at number 20, and I have a big mug of beer.
It's a very little beer. It's a very big mug.
Big beer, big beer, big mug, little beer. There we go. It's not me next, though. At number 20, we have one of the newer teams in the league, the Okanagan Sun Devils.
Correct.
Eric, at number 20, Ryan Borrow, my good buddy, fellow Penguins fan from the other league. Great fella. We hung out on Halloween. He took his kid trick-or-treating dressed up as Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice. Great show.
Fantastic show. He looked very good. Why are the Sun Devils number 20 so high, so low? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
They've improved since last year.
They've improved dramatically.
Oh, okay.
There's a certain goalie that's largely responsible for that.
I believe
Not a
his
huge
name
surprise.
rhymes with the Flurkin.
Very good.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Igor Slurkin.
Wasn't that one of the cat monster in the Marvel movie that has octopus tentacles that eats people? A Flurkin? Something like that?
I forget.
You're watching
What
Loki?
are you talking about? Loki. Oh, Loki.
Oh,
Yeah. I haven't seen season 2 yet. Okay, so back on
Back on topic here. Yes, Shesterkin is the main reason.
Okay.
They're the 7th best goaltending in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But their defense is also quite good, 11th best. What's interesting, you hear that and you wonder, how could this team be at 20?
Right.
Because their forwards are god-awful.
Okay.
27th worst forwards.
So they're building from the
Best
net.
forwards, whatever that works
They're
out to.
building from the net out.
Clearly.
They're turtling,
Yes.
biding their time.
Yes, they are following the... Was it Brian Burke that made that statement famous? Build from the net out?
Oh, he did?
I think it was Burke.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know.
Somebody said that.
I would argue
Smarter than me.
that's a good way to do it. I've made it to 2 finals
Sure.
with bad forwards and stellar goaltending. So the Sun Devils have a shot at making the playoffs. Matt, what do you think about the Sun Devils? And then we'll get to Ryan's drink.
we've already talked about Sturgeon. We'll talk about it again. I think they're going to struggle to score.
Yes.
Like it's grim. Now they do have a couple of really good puck moving defensemen in the Tang and John Carlson.
Yes, absolutely.
And to a slightly lesser extent as well with Marcus Peterson, who moves the puck pretty well for a defenseman of that caliber. But it's an interesting mix because they have the very, very, very good starting goalie. They don't, with the exception of Tenority, really have a lot of like upper tier, like pure shutdown type D-men, like guys who are that high checking, high DF, high strength category. So like they're a little bit of a mixed message, I think, right now. But when you have a goalie of that caliber, you're always in it, as long as he stays healthy. And I think, I'm not certain that this year, sort of like one of the teams we chatted about in the past, I don't know if this year matters as much, other than, to those who hold Okanagan's 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th round picks.
Wow.
As he does have 3 picks, none of them are his own this year.
Okay.
And we know that Sill has shorted the Sun Devils stock this year with his most recent trade.
So, Eric, with the Sun Devils, again, we're going back to that theme of sort of the middle teams.
Yes.
We don't really have a clear-cut plan. I know Ryan loves being in the league. We love having him. But we're not really sure what he's going to do this year. It could go either way. You can hardly say
Rebuild.
with a goalie like Shesterkin. Sorry, rebuild. Rebuild.
Well,
We don't.
Such thing.
There's no
No
such
such
thing.
thing. No such
Nope,
thing.
it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Yeah, Ryan has made it, I think, pretty clear publicly. He did not want to wait for all of his picks and prospects and everything else to come in. He wanted to be in contention.
I hear you.
now. He wants to be involved and interested in the league, and I support that.
He didn't want to wait
Yeah, do not
for
wait.
his life to be over. Do.
That was really beautiful.
Thank you. There's a reason I host the SXCHL preseason
Yeah.
video power ranks.
So he
And don't do
he pushed his
musicals.
chips in.
Still, I can't sing. I do have an audition on Sunday, though. No singing. No singing.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So hearing that, I do wonder, and I'll wonder aloud, why doesn't he get some forwards? There are so many on the market.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Matt, what's his drink?
Well, I look forward to visiting the Sun Devils. I'm hosting my works conference in the hometown of Okanagan and Penticton next year, so I look forward to seeing them and hopefully visiting with our guy Don as well.
You'll probably see Ryan on the 19th as well. You're coming over to visit. Is that a secret visit? Should I not have said you're coming over?
No, I just didn't connect the two things. Oh, is Ryan going to come over and watch some football with us?
Ryan likes football.
I'm very excited about this.
Very
This
cool.
is exciting news. On a directly related note, perhaps we'll have to celebrate, commemorate with this. Ryan's drink, and only the West Coast GMs are going to get this, is Fat Tug, which is arguably
It's a-
BC's most famous beer. It is a big, bold, exceptionally hoppy beer, and it will from time to time mess you up sometimes. And I think that sort of accurately describes the Shesterkin trade. It's big, it's bold, it's flavorful, and it will leave you thinking about things for a little while.
It's a potent potable. Our cricket team has 2 beers post game in our bag of beers that we sell to raise money for the team. Totally legal, of course. One is Sneaky Weasel, which is terrible.
Classic.
That's $2. Fat Tug, $4.
Fat Tug's a great beer.
Fat Tug. We will not go to a pub when we're not at our home pub. We will not go to a pub if it doesn't have Fat Tug available. Our team
Strong endorsement.
believes very strongly in Fat Tug, and now the Okanagan Sun Devils strongly believe in Fat
That
Tug.
is an interesting move by a bunch of extremely old white guys.
I know our most staunch supporter of Fat Tug is a retiree from England, David Gooda, who kind of reminds me of like a very nice Captain Hook. He gave me his cricket bat as a present for all the work I did on the website.
Fat Tug could not be less of an English style
He
beer.
loves it. He
Fascinating. I love
loves it. It's amazing.
Assimilation
Wow.
is strong.
So that's number 20. Ryan, great job. We love having you in the league, but I'm biased because you're a good buddy. All right, number 19. Surely we got to be me. It's got to be me coming up.
Nope, still not.
Who's next?
Our buddy Norm and the Philadelphia
There
Fire
we go, the
Ants.
Fire Ants. Norm,
Very
I
exciting.
can't believe I forgot Norm when I was saying hello to all the SSHL
It's kind of
GMs
shocking.
earlier.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting one, and I'm going to get it right at the end. I said Bob, I said Chris, I said Dusty, I said Taryn. Let's keep going. 19, the Fire Ants. Matt, what the hell are the Fire Ants drink? What are they doing, and what's their drink?
I mean, their drink is obviously Ferengi wine.
Has to be.
Of course.
Has to be.
Obvious.
Yes. Or, and I said earlier, for a non-alcoholic version, it could be root beer, because Quark gives Garrick some root beer, and at first Garrick hates it, and Quark says, I know, it's so sweet and bubbly, but if you drink enough, you start to love it. It's
Season 3, Episode 4.
I don't know, is it?
I have
No, it's
freaking
later on.
idea.
It's in
Kidding
the
me?
it's in the Dominion
I
War.
have no idea.
Okay, well, what are the
That was
Fire
a
Ants?
deep cut. I like it.
Yeah,
I
what
didn't
are the,
understand any of what's happening.
well,
Just nod and go with it.
Yes,
Yes, and.
yes, and what are the Fire Ants doing? Again, they should be. I don't know if they're right where they're supposed to
is
be or
a-
not. I can't.
This
tell.
is a wild and wacky team.
Okay, tell me.
As always.
Tell me.
Norm loves hanging on to his,
Who's boys?
let's call it, historic forwards.
Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
They're good. Yep.
If they're not already bronzed, they're going to be soon.
They can put it in the bucket in the back of the net.
Put them in the back of it. Yeah, just like SAT Tikkanen.
Yeah.
14th best forwards, but also thanks to a $30 million payout in the acquisition of Darcy Kemper,
Okay.
the 16th best goaltender.
Okay, so he's got
Right
some,
there, right there in the middle.
He's got some net
Should we talk
binders.
about that deal?
Yeah,
Let's.
let's talk about it.
Let's.
What's wrong with that deal?
Please.
I
Give
don't.
us some context.
What's right with that
perhaps.
deal?
Let's be clear.
Some context.
I'm not saying that there is anything.
No,
Okay. Okay.
But it's fascinating. So I think that we've seen a shift a little bit. Norm, I think, very famously has eschewed and perhaps scoffed
Sure.
at some of the costs that were happening and prices that would happen in free agency.
He
And
might
famous spendthrift.
He might have made a whole video about it.
It's possible. So
Something about not shoveling children into my gaping maw. Remember that? That was part of his video.
I do not remember that. But point being, like, I do think it's genuinely interesting that we have a pretty big strategic shift from a veteran GM. Like, if I would have had to list out in order the GMs that I thought would trade $30 million in cash for a player, Norm would have been in the bottom three, for sure. So
Right.
it's an interesting shift. I think it's exciting.
Right.
I'm glad that Eric didn't do it, so we don't have to hear about how evil it is. Remember when Norm used to be the evil one?
Yeah.
And now it's come full
Is this
circle.
a return? I don't
Eric.
know. No, I think it's an interesting trade,
History
and I think
repeats, baby.
it's a good representation of that. Cash is becoming more widely recognized as a commodity.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that GMs are doing a better job at understanding the value of cash within our system.
Okay,
Which
very
makes
cool.
it very difficult for me to exploit. So I am not happy about
Look
it.
what you started.
Sorry.
Eric, I was saying like heel wise, Eric is kind of like early 2000s Triple H, and now he's kind of shifted to like 2004 Randy Orton a little bit. And then
Yeah,
Norm
this.
might be a heel that like was big like Hogan, and now he's kind of come back with the NWO a little bit.
You've skipped some things.
There's
there.
some years, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to. Surely we can come up with some wrestling heels for Eric and Norm that'll work out. I still think Eric works out as Triple H because he won, and now he's kind of like not quite as
And then
good,
he
but
blew
like
squad.
yeah, and he said Eddie Guerrero was not in heaven.
I don't understand. Can you put any of this in Downton Abbey terms?
No, I haven't seen Downton Abbey.
That's a wonderful show.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard.
period soap opera.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I should. I haven't seen.
I
it.
like Norm's forwards. I'll say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
As a group, I really like them.
What do you think of his defense, though?
Shea
Which
Theodore-
is, by the way,
Shea Theodore-
24th.
Shea Theodore got kind of rambled in the ranking.
Does that surprise you?
A little. I guess offensive defense.
Has that not
like-
happened every year
Yeah, I
consistently,
guess
followed
so.
by
I guess so.
an angry video from Norm explaining how Shea Theodore is underrated yet again? If it happens every year, is he underrated?
I like other league Sam Gerard a lot.
Yes.
I had this conversation with Chasm when Chasm was flogging him off. I think that Samuel Gerard is the type of defenseman who's going to be perpetually egregiously underappreciated by the
Ratings,
Wizards who do the ratings.
Yeah.
And so that's my
Okay.
worry is I think that, like, frankly, between Gerard and Tanev and Theodore, his defense is better.
In real life.
I don't think we're allowed to use those terms. But
Other league.
Other league.
Other league.
outside of
Fair.
our universe, by a big
The whole.
margin.
The null.
But
All right.
yeah, and I mean to a lesser extent, the same with Neil Blomqvist as well. But yeah, I think there's some challenges ratings wise.
Norm, may you revel in profit and never violate a rule of acquisition. Let's move on. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we usually are when we have. By the way, this mug is very heavy, but I like it. It's good.
Story. Not my mug.
Oh.
My father purchased at the Hofbrauhaus in Munich
It's amazing.
when he went to Europe in, I think it's 23.
Eric's dad, one of my favorite teachers, taught myself, Eric, and Cassim in grade 6,
Wow, then.
and music for grades 1 to 7. I think. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Take it with me.
There you go.
Okay, who's up? Number 19. Surely it's got to be me.
I think I don't want to really introduce this one myself.
Oh, sorry. Norm was 19. I don't believe this though.
It's true.
I refuse.
I'm not going to argue my own numbers.
This still confuses me. It's Eric Schneider and the Nova Scotia Schooners at number 18.
Hello.
No, I don't.
Booing me for him at 18. Kick a guy when he's
We are
down.
in his house.
I mean,
Boo
that's-
him louder.
Get out.
Boo.
That's why you get them down. So
Yeah,
it's easier
fair.
to kick them.
That's right. Closer to the ground. Yeah.
I feel weird at you being this low, largely because, to be fair, the big blockbuster trade you just made.
Yeah.
So tell us about your. Let's start off with your trade, then we'll go to your drink.
And I'll preface this by saying I had the rankings done prior to today, and I was, where was I? Eighth, I think, in the previous
Eighth or something
iteration.
like that, yeah.
So a significant dip now.
I didn't believe you when you said it was going to drop you way down.
I called it, didn't I?
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You did. You did.
So I mean, I still have good forwards.
You do?
I'm at 10th,
You do?
but yeah,
Huge.
moving Morrissey, dropping my defense down to 20th,
Okay.
and then losing Anderson. Now I'm down to 23 for goaltending. I've got Corpusalo at starting. He's still very capable, but Daniel Tarasov is not a solid backup, and I can't even pronounce the name of my third string guy.
So the reign of terror is over for now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
My
Everyone
goal is
breathe easy.
still to try and make the playoffs.
Yes.
But I'm not going to bend over backwards trying to do it. My long-term goal is compete with Pedersen.
Okay.
It's a
Now,
retool.
Matt, what do we think about the Schooners, and what is their drink?
Yeah, so I think Eric accurately summarized. The team forward group is good. The defense is grim, but it suffers more from a lack of depth than anything. So
Right.
I think typically speaking, it can be pretty easy to acquire third D-men 5, 6, and 7 in the SSCHL, so you can turn them around pretty quick. Especially, to be honest, with any of the free agent systems, bit old or new, if you want to spend a bunch of money to get a really high checking DF strength rated D-man like the Luke Shen type,
Yeah, they're always there.
you can throw a bunch of cash on, just like I did this year, right?
Okay.
You can pick them up. I'm a little bit surprised that Eric's team is rated this low given the strength of the forward group. And again, I think that he's been punished based on the mysterious system that does the power rankings due to lack of depth. But the top end is very, very good. And Eric's beverage representation is a Trappist beer, because you give that guy a little bit of Belgian beer and he will make poor decisions. Hi, Adam Pellick.
Oh my
So
God.
we should give him a lot tonight. You don't have anywhere to go. You're not driving.
We have no Trappists in this house for that very reason.
That you know of.
Oh shit.
Did you bring it?
No, but I can bring a bottle of scotch,
You did. That's true.
That is also my
which is more effective.
I'm feeling it. I'm
Very
feeling
quick.
it now. Eric, this is the first time we've seen you this low in quite some time. Are you
Yeah.
excited?
I'm actually really excited about this season,
Okay,
truthfully.
great.
Yeah, it's going to sound a little bit weird and very one percenter, but it's hard being at the top for 3 straight years. It's a lot of work trying to stay up there. Yeah,
A lot of
whatever.
pressure.
You won. How many of
A lot of
those
pressure.
commissioner trophies did you win? Come on. But, yeah, so it's going to be nice having a different goal and being able to run the team a little bit more creatively than I have, because I have been very single-minded for a while now, and now I get to try something new.
You did win not once, not twice.
But thrice,
Thrice.
correct.
If you did 4, we could do the 4 horsemen. We go back to the wrestling thing. But
And Lord knows I
Obviously,
did my best with
that's
it.
obviously out the window. Okay,
And Ian came and stamped out that parade. So
we're gonna get to Ian way later.
yeah, that's not really a spoiler. Let's be honest here.
Way later.
Yeah.
Okay,
Would be a spoiler.
I just said way
Anybody
later.
not paying
I didn't say he's number 1 or anything like
No.
that.
Who is? I wonder. Not
Could
me.
be me.
It's not me. It's
It's not me.
probably not you
It's not
either.
me, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, don't apologize for math. Let's move on. Who is next, Matt?
Coming in number 17.
The Vancouver.
Vipers?
Yeah,
There we go. The Vancouver. What's wrong with the Vipers?
he can't say it. It's infringing on his territory.
Oh, a
this is
little
a
bit.
long-standing
I get.
beef grudge.
You're
whatever you wanna
Vancouver
call it.
Island, and as you know, that's a different place than where you live now.
The region.
Yeah,
The regional territory.
Regional territory. At least he didn't name themselves the Vancouver Vikings.
One asshole did do that.
I know. I know. Hi, Chasm. Hope you're feeling better.
That's true. I hope you are.
That is the SSCHL's Rough Riders right there.
Eric Bryce always seems to be around here.
Every year.
Always around here. I remember every year he seems to go on some great crazy run. His power play is lethal. What are they going to do this year? Can they get in the playoffs?
So maybe
Okay,
is my
maybe.
definitive
That
answer.
is very definitive.
So defense is the name of the game in Vancouver this year, led by none other than the great young German, Moritz Seider.
Mo Sai.
I
should have
seventh
drafted
best
him.
demon.
I should have
in the,
drafted
in the league.
Mo Sai.
Yeah, we all say that.
German. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
In fairness to all of us, Cider was
It was a reach. It was a reach
in
at
that
the time.
moment.
right?
It's a reach. It just happens this
It
was one of
panned
the
out.
rare moments where that was the right thing to do.
Oof, 91 DF and a 99 DU.
insane.
Ooh,
Well, look at the
that's
puck
pretty
handling
good.
and passing.
Yeah. So,
Basically everything. The checking's high.
Yeah,
so the team runs through
He's just
him and
one of the best
Provorov.
defensemen in the league.
That's a very good blue line.
Yes.
Okay, so
Crazy
So the Vipers are going to be good
So
on
they
the
got
D.
that.
Okay, so what else do they have?
Well, that's the funny thing. They're below average at forward at 19,
Mm-hmm.
and really below average 22nd for goaltending.
Okay, all
So
right.
there's work to be done.
Yes.
They've got really one way to win the games, and that's with their back end. So, yeah, we'll see.
I know many of people who have said that.
Hmm.
Like the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah,
Well,
I saw where you went with that pretty
yeah,
quickly.
I think we're all
Teed that up
avoiding
for you.
Shockingly, by the way, this power rankings is not scripted. It's all off the fly. The magic of improv. Matt, save me. What's the drink of this team that we're talking
So
about?
first of all, the defense is actually even better than it looks. I think with the pure overall ranking.
Yeah,
Man, their
honestly.
DF is nuts.
This is going to be a very, very difficult team to score on. Like
Yeah, right.
even when you go down to Mikola down at the bottom, like an 84 checking, 87 defense, like
Crazy.
they're going to be tough to score on. Also, because we're talking about the defense and their drink of choice. I mean, they do have Ivan Provorov, so obviously their drink of choice is Bud Light.
Oh my god, Matthew, that is brilliant. Well done.
I got nothing to say.
Well
That's so
done.
good.
Let's end it on that.
Perfect.
I hope you enjoy that, Rob. I really hope he never watches
Oh.
this. If a real life NHL player
I
ever
hope he
watched this,
does.
by the way, I'd crap my
That'd
pants.
be amazing.
You really no, I wouldn't like it. I'd be
What a
nervous.
chump.
It is good when you draft players though, and they like your tweet. That's pretty cool. You've had that,
I've had
right?
it a couple times.
It's always like the 6th and 7th round. Like gladiators, you're proud to select Bob. Boo, boo, boo.
Yeah.
And Bob's like,
the
"Yes,
Helfenstein.
It's me. We did it. Okay, moving on. Okay, surely I gotta be next.
No.
I'm getting impatient. We're
I'm
never gonna get to me.
sorry.
I liked being bad. We got to meet
Well, relax.
first, and then
Worth
sorry.
noting.
Okay.
This is the last team in this kind of like I forget what I call them.
Called the
sort of
climbing the ladder.
the
isn't it?
climbing the ladder
Climbing
tier,
the ladder tier?
mushy middle tier,
Mushy
whatever you
middle?
want. Yeah, whatever
Oh,
you want.
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
So Pat has
16.
really jumped up.
Slammers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Pat I know was really aggressive in free agency.
Mm.
He did well, so he's improved
Pat-
his team dramatically.
Seems to be kind of in the same sort of channel as Boro and the Sun Devils, in that they're
Okay.
just getting a little impatient,
Yes,
ready to go. Let's.
but that's not. But Pat was bad for like 1 year.
Was it that all?
Yeah, I think so.
It was,
Really?
to be honest, just like half a year.
I was like, yeah,
Why do I feel like it was longer than that? That's weird. All right,
no,
I got a crappy memory, so there we
no.
go.
He's been not like last year. Not like
Mhm.
last year.
But anyway, the team is built similarly to the Sun Devils as well. 11th
Okay.
best goaltending, 15th best defense, but 24 for forwards.
Well,
so
he lost.
it's
He lost.
similar
He
formula.
lost Marchand, right?
Yes, yeah. So
okay.
yeah, the same exact formula. If they really want to go for it, they got to get some forwards in there.
Okay, great, Matt. What drink do we have for Patrick?
So nobody else.
Ugh, I've never called him Patrick.
That
Pat.
felt weird,
Oh, I'm
even
sorry.
to me.
Pat, I'm sorry.
I've
I didn't
met
mean
the
to.
guy
I didn't mean to call you that.
It's true. I've known Pat for more than 20 years, and I've never once heard or thought of him as Patrick.
Take it back.
I have. I already took it back.
All right.
I did.
Similar, unfortunately, to the Fat Tub reference. Many of you won't get this, but the story behind it is Superflex Brewing, which actually coincidentally I was wearing their shirt in an earlier episode
Mhm.
of this, released a beer earlier this year called Teddy Bear Picnic, which is a banana peanut butter stout. And that's kind of how I feel about this team. It's very interesting.
Yes.
It's very weird, and it's a little bit good, but then you're like, maybe a little too much of this. And that's sort of how I feel about the current configuration of the roster as it stands right now.
Okay.
Because they are sort of very much, as you guys said, like in that mushy middle, whatever you want to say. But like, there's good stuff here with this team, right? So they're reasonably good right now.
Mhm.
There's good bones there. They did trade off both second best Carlson and step down over there and
Settle
Marchand
down.
last year. So they picked up some good future assets. They added picks, so they pick up Matt Wood. They also have Jonathan Lecker-Mackey, who's going bonkers right now in the,
Yeah.
in the Swedish league.
Mhm.
So like
I should have drafted him.
I think
Wow.
that big picture, they're going to be the upward trajectory. I'm also quite bitter because Patrick came in with a very, very big offer on Eric Holla, who was my number one target
I
in free
so
agency.
wanted him. He's such a good player.
And
He's got
I-
so many useful ratings.
Yeah, and I missed out on him by a
Ugh.
comical amount.
81 DF. I was in there with him, but he beat me. I was
Were you
sad.
in there like Swimmer?
Not well and not enough. Yeah, that's a great pick for Pat, especially a team bereft of offensive
Well, this is the
talent.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine how much lower they'd be without him.
And Perron actually is a sneaky good signing. I don't know. I think he has him for 4 years, which is an eternity. But like Perron has like really rejuvenated his career in the other league, so he's going to continue to get really good ratings. So good job, Patrick. We're all happy for you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Nice.
Next up, now come on, Aaron. We got to get to me soon.
Nope, still not there. Still not there.
And I'm getting impatient.
We are into a new and small tier, I would say.
Am I in this tier?
I'm not going to spoil that for you.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is
All right, new
a
tier.
small little. I'm going to call it about a 5-team tier.
We're going to call this tier a running start.
I like that.
A running start.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is teams that I feel solid playoff teams.
Mhm.
It would be a surprise if any of them miss,
Okay.
but not quite ready to compete with the big dogs.
And no guarantees.
Definitely no guarantees.
Okay, so something could go wrong. Okay,
Absolutely
so
could.
who is next? And what number are they?
At number 15, we've got the Bruno Barons.
The Barons. Well, we know their goaltending is going to be good.
It sure is. It is the 4th best in the entire league on the backs of a UC Saros.
So it's easy. Just don't let Saros get hurt, and Bob's going to make the playoffs. Right?
That's never happened before.
That's always how it goes.
Right?
Tell me more about the Barons.
Well, this is the funny thing. This is a really a tale of two cities, as it were. The 4th best goaltending, the 26th defense. So Saros won't get his work out.
Saros,
That's a choice.
what's Saros' EN and DU?
He's gonna get face a lot of shots.
He's gonna be mad at his. It reminds me, it's like Kyle Sorovi being mad at our team for letting so many shots get through.
This is one of those ones. He's gonna have an incredible save percentage because he's gonna get all kinds of peppering.
Okay.
And then very average forwards, 17th. So
17th. Okay.
yeah, as Matt says, that's a choice.
All right. I know many teams would love to have Saros. I know I would.
And Skinner.
Matt, do you have something
And
ready
he
for
had
us?
Samsonov to start things off.
I'm glad you stopped that there. Otherwise, we might have gotten a takedown.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't talk, but
There
we
we
do
go.
have to talk about Bruno. This time, what's their drink? And then we can move on.
I just wrote down here we're going to talk about.
Sorry, Bob.
It's got to be some sort of like a Czech pilsner,
Yeah,
right?
so
Check box.
actually, my story here would be that I'm not a big lager drinker, but in the time that I did spend in Prague, I've never been to a place that is so exclusively good at one style of beer as the Czech Republic. So like you go to Czech Republic, you go to
I've been.
Prague,
It's wonderful.
like drink their dark lager.
Bingo.
Okay.
The dark lager
Way
is
better than pilsners.
yeah, is better than Bill. They're better known, I think, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But the way that the Czechs do the dark lager is
So good.
spectacular.
Yeah.
It's the Pacific Northwest and IPAs, same equivalent. Go to Prague, drink dark lagers, have fun.
For next to nothing as well.
Yeah, it's
dirt
like
cheap.
70 cents a beer or
Yeah.
whatever.
Amazing.
So
I
yeah.
miss it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great job, Berto. We hope may Saros never get injured and the odds ever be in your favor, except me, because Berto's in my division.
And
So
yet,
we're fierce
still
rivals
haven't
now.
heard your name.
No, I gotta be coming up now.
Nope.
Oh man, how do people do this? They gotta wait through all this before their team.
Torture, isn't it?
Who's up next?
Our boy Shital. and
Chital. I'm not forgetting
Chicago
the Tigers this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little lower, but again, we've seen this movie before,
Yes, we have.
where we rank Chital
Perpetually.
low, and then he made the finals a couple years ago. That's amazing. Are we going to see a similar thing from Chital this year?
I don't know.
He had a big injury
Not my
recently,
job.
though, didn't he? Someone on his team got injured for like 2 months. I forget who it was.
Oh yeah, who was
I
that?
forget. Someone was injured, and it was someone good. So we'll ignore that.
Yes.
Eric, what are the Tigers looking like?
This is a more of an even Steven kind of team.
Okay.
So the
All right.
strengths are goaltending,
Mhm.
12, defense 13, forwards 18. A little work to do there, but still, this is a pretty balanced lineup.
Okay.
Yeah, fun bunch. Always like the Tigers. They were my team du jour last year.
How can you not like Chital
Well,
and the
or last
Tigers?
day.
I dare you, Chital, to be an asshole. I bet you can't do it. Matt, what's
Can't help
Chital's
himself.
what's
It's just
Chital's
so
drink?
nice.
Shittle's drink is Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
It's
Okay.
It's a bourbon. Particularly the single barrel. Do not underappreciate or undervalue how good Buffalo Trace is. And I think that's the perennial word of warning about the Tigers. I think how many years in a row have they outperformed their projection
every year.
Every year. I
Yeah.
mean, every year.
So maybe I need to update the projections. Never mind.
No, we're good. No,
It's
it's perfect.
flawless,
Flawless.
unimpeachable.
But yes, for those of you who have ready access, if you see the single barrel Buffalo Trace, it's very, very affordable, especially if you're a whiskey drinker. Highly recommend it. And Sheets is very much the Buffalo Trace single barrel version of the
I'm
SSCHL.
gonna call him Sheets.
It's just great value.
What a dope
Just
ass
great
name,
value.
right?
Dope ass nickname.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is a little banged up. I do see quite a lot of red crosses. Byfield's hurt. Who else was hurt that I thought was a big deal? No, it wasn't Eric Robinson.
Eric Robinson is like broken though. He's a 28, so he's not coming back.
Oh, and then maybe was it someone on the
Oh,
blue line?
Hammock.
Oh, Hamannik. That's what I was thinking of.
Right.
And Hamannik is out with a torn left ACL.
Not the right one though.
Could be worse. Could be the right ACL. I don't actually know if that matters at
Right.
all. Yeah, the Tigers are a sneaky bunch. They always outperform their roster.
Yes, consistent.
Probably going to happen again. I'm not going to put any money on Sheetal not making the playoffs because that seems like a
That'd be foolish.
stupid bet.
Yep.
Moving on. Is it me? Yes.
It's you.
Oh, I'm
The
the
Hamburg Gladiators.
Thank you.
This
Thank you very
guy.
much. Wow, God, I didn't know I had to
Took
get
a
out of the
while.
basement.
I know. That's
But
what
don't worry,
we
there's
wait
still
some
time because my forwards stink.
They do. That's correct.
Yeah.
Well done. 23
Yeah.
for forwards.
And that's
What?
with a bunch of free agent acquisitions.
But look at the rest of it.
Right. It's okay.
Number 12 for
Yeah.
defense, 10
Yeah.
for goalie.
Okay, that's fine.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I'm very
Exciting.
excited and surprised.
Yeah.
I got to a point where like I couldn't really justify rebuilding anymore. I've been rebuilding since 2017, 2018-ish. And like, my young guys are starting to come out of it. And like I can't really, with the Swayman and like McAvoy and Darlene and he just like I can't really justify not rewarding my guys and going in on some free agents. So I picked up some free agents. I think I could maybe sniff 8th place in the world. We'll see. It's going to be fun.
Well,
I
we
haven't.
got you at 13, so I dare say you'll do better than 8th place.
I can't believe I'm
In-
at 13.
In a garbage conference like the World, you should be totally fine.
Who won last year?
Who won the 3 years before that?
Thanks, Jeff. Live in the now, Eric.
Yeah.
3 years ago was
No.
3 years ago. Last year was last year. I can't believe I'm lucky 13.
Wrong argument.
I can't believe I'm lucky 13. So, with a completely unbiased perspective, what do you guys think of my team?
I like it.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Nice.
Like I said,
That's
I'm
fun.
a big fan of the Swayman.
Mm.
I also think the forward group, while not, I'll be honest, it's not even league average,
Right.
but it's not 23.
No,
There's
I
some
think.
useful stuff.
See, here's the thing. I don't think I have good forwards. I think I have useful
Correct.
forwards.
I
Like, there's a
agree.
lot of like really, really good scoring, or
Yeah.
really, really good at that. I think
Yeah.
I could use a defensive forward, but aside from that, like I
You
think
need
there's
somebody at
enough.
the top of the lineup just to
I know.
bump everybody
I
else
know.
down.
I think so. I think so.
like
yeah.
a Kucherov, for example.
Hey, maybe.
Huh.
I don't have much you'd want.
Thomas Hurley.
We've talked about this.
We have, it's true.
Matt, what do you think?
Well, remember how we were talking about how you're in the World Conference?
I remember.
Yes, and that makes it easier.
Well, I mean, I guess that's
So,
a matter of
just,
opinion.
just a little bit of historical context. Last year,
Mhm.
there were 5 teams in the World Conference that finished with fewer than 65 points.
Is that not good?
It is not good.
Not
In
good.
fact,
Okay.
that exceeds the number of overtly
Rebuilding.
teams, generally speaking, in the entire league.
Right.
When you look across the history of the league, and that happened in one conference,
Hmm.
the World Conference.
Mm.
So
I like to think of it as because the rest of the World Conference teams are so good that we couldn't win.
It's a parity issue. It's not a skill issue.
Precisely.
I see.
Precisely.
Interesting.
I-
Matt, refute.
I mean, certainly 2 of them were good. That's true.
Yes.
2 of them were very
Two
good.
of them were very good.
Yeah.
Team's been doing this for a long time. I think now you're here. You've pushed in a little bit on this season to try to do a little bit more, which is exciting to see.
It's
And
exciting.
you see that reflected in the power rankings. It is interesting that you've combined this push with also taking a big swing in the draft, and notably a big swing in the draft who won't be available until like my daughter's in like grade 12.
I didn't feel good about it. I rarely do at the draft.
I'm not saying I'm not saying in any way you made the wrong decision. I think
Right.
lots of people love Mikov as a prospect,
I do like him.
but he's going to take longer to get to.
Yeah. He's not going to be
Our
useful for a
place.
while.
I know. He's
for a
cooking.
while.
He's going to be in the oven
He's
for a
going to
while.
marinate.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
I don't want to describe it.
He's
Person's
grinding.
juicy, but For obvious
Remember,
reasons.
the boy, the stock. Yes.
There's a dry rub that has to go on at some point.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I think it very well could be worth it. But it's just interesting. Like you've got a little bit of a 2 timeline thing going on right
I do. Yeah, next year it's probably going to be a little merit because some of my guys are having a bit of a sophomore slump, but I'm really excited. It's fun. I will say for teams going into a rebuild, that's also fun too. Like I love our league so much. We have such a great bunch of personalities. I was worried when I was rebuilding that I would cease having fun, and it's the complete opposite. You just kind of shift your priorities.
Yeah.
You're still enjoying watching hockey. Your focus is just on different things. So it's cool. Yeah. What's my drink hole point?
Oh, I mean, have you met you? Your drink is the vodka Red Bull.
Yeah!
You operate up here.
I do. I will say.
We can use it about it.
I did have one at what was it? We had a family.
That's
we had a
great.
family gathering, and I just spent. You know what it's like hosting a big thing, and it was just wiped, and I'm like, I'm just gonna have a Red Bull. Fuck it. I really don't have it anymore because it's awful for you. But I just had like a little bit, and honestly, it got me through the evening. It was pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
it.
I'm going to Vegas in January, so I will be having some down there. Yeah. Should be good. I haven't been arrested yet. Next up, Eric. After
Next.
me.
Yes, sir. The next we have this
Wait,
is
what number? 12?
number 12.
Number 12?
This is interesting. This is the start of a very small. It's like a little fringe tier.
Okay.
I'm going to call this the Edge of Glory tier.
Edge of Glory. I like
an
that.
Rather than
Okay.
being on the edge
Yes.
Exactly.
of glory.
Correct.
I think we put up 4 seconds of that song before we get sued.
Do it.
But we're not.
Never mind. So the first, and, you'll understand this in a second, but there is a strong gap, an enormous gap actually, between teams 9 and 10.
Right.
So these guys, these are well above that little mushy middle bit.
Yep.
Definitely above your team.
That's okay. No, I get it. I get it. I acknowledge there are teams better than mine.
Good.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you should, because there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
So team number 12, the Hamilton Steelhawks.
So myself
Kind of
and
incredible.
Hamilton had the biggest jump compared to last year.
That is correct.
And Hamilton just made another swing where they just acquired Max Domi.
Yeah.
So this is a massive. Now Chris was threatening this for a very long time, and we didn't believe him.
Yeah.
And now we're in trouble.
And here we are.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned. So we compared the numbers from the power rankings last year to the ones this year.
Yes.
Hamilton up 17 spots from last year's 29th overall ranking.
If he improves
Is that a 1 and a 7?
it is. And if he improves that much more next year, he'll be in a new league.
Insane.
He'll jump
Right.
first.
Yeah. You
Wow.
11 spots up for the second highest jump.
I'm happy about that.
And in a weird little bit of symmetry, I'm down the most of any team from last year, 17 spots as well.
I'm okay with that too.
That's fine. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. I've accepted it.
What did the Steelhawks do? What has he done?
Kind of all of the things.
All of the things.
Weirdly.
Everything.
A splash in free agency, some big trades, some
Yep.
guys having some great ratings.
Chris asked
Yeah.
me to. Well, he messaged me his lines, but I don't know.
Really?
Well, he
He
did.
never does that.
I don't know why. Well, because he said, I acquired Domi. I want you to mention that in the power rankings. Chris, I'm mentioning that in the power rankings, but I'm not mentioning your lines because they included Marchand. I think Marchand's injured.
He's more than a little injured.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
He's
So
kind
I
of a
can't-
lot injured.
He had a bit of a boo-boo. So we've got Hamburg and Hamilton right next to each other. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So,
I had to double check that I wasn't getting them backwards.
no, I appreciate that.
Oh yes, he's gonna miss a good
He's got a
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4
he-
weeks.
He's
So,
got a boo boo on his left.
so this is a reminder for Chris. And this is what happens when you jump 17 spots and you're one of the league's better teams,
Yeah.
if not best teams. Submit your lines.
Yeah, 100%. And the scary
It's about
thing for
the, it's about the
teams
cheekiest thing I'm going to get away with because he's going to pound me.
is
with
that
the
all it
wrong
was? Yeah. The scary thing for a team in Hamilton's position, yes, they're 12th. They're also in the superior conference.
The World Conference.
Money. They're going to have a tougher time making the playoffs, and is starting the year off without their best player for an
Right.
entire month.
Okay.
That could actually catch up to them
Oh,
at the end of the
okay.
season.
Now we did acquire Max Domi, so that is going to lighten the load a little bit. As he's not like a superstar, but he has some very useful ratings.
Did you just compare Marchand to
No, but I'm just saying, like that will help his forward core. He's a
I
good
mean, they're
player.
both kind of dirty.
Yeah.
fair? All right.
Matt, save me. What's going on? What's going on with the Steelhawks? What do you see? What do you like? And what's their drink?
I mean, I think you guys sort of accurately summarized the off season.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. There was like a little bit of like a splash of lime, maybe a bit of salt, and a whole lot of cheap tequila.
Oh, who knows where that's going to take us?
Who knows where this whole experience
Dancing
is gonna
on
take
tables and puking in a dumpster.
us. Like
I'm okay with that.
the steel
a
bottles
party.
are a big bottle of
Cuervo Gold.
of Cuervo Gold.
It's exciting. Well, we
And
know,
hey, a lot of people have had the best night of their life in this circumstance,
and the worst.
and some have experienced some side effects.
Well, we know Chris is one of our most active GMs, certainly
Yes.
with trading.
Absolutely.
He got himself a boat ton of picks.
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought that was going to go in an awkward direction.
no, tons of tons of picks, tons of trades. I know he
Yeah.
loves the league.
He
He's on
does.
Discord now.
He's on Discord. Yes.
God help us.
God help us
On
all.
the court.
And a very balanced team too, I should mention.
Okay, yeah, please.
13th forwards, 17 D, 14 goalies. So right smack there,
Even Steve.
dead center.
Can Hamilton make the playoffs in the Canadian Conference this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's
And I think what's most worth also noting, they have a pair of first round picks this year. They don't have a lot of picks, but the picks they do have are all high value. They have 2 firsts, a second, and a third.
well. That's
And
not
then
fair.
next year they also already have a pair of firsts. So
What?
if they want to further load up, they got 4 first round picks and a total of 6 picks in the first 2 rounds over the next 2 drafts to use as ammo to add a little beef.
I'm jelly. That's why I'm saucy. Not Carson Soucy. I'm saucy towards Chris and the Steelhawks. Chris, great job, you knob.
Reminded me we didn't compliment your Susie acquisition.
Yay!
Oh, I did like that.
Yay!
Solid.
Yeah.
That was fun. I did a trade.
Yeah.
That wasn't immediately awful.
Did a trade.
I'm very scared about
It's
doing
going to pay
trades.
dividends for you. So it's looked very good.
I know, and the
Yes.
Knuckleheads are in the other league are looking good right now.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
All right.
a big part, I think, is frankly the Cole and
The
Susie.
defense, yeah, Cole was smart too. I want Cole. Dusty, we'll talk. It's like
Michael
threatening.
Cole?
No, Michael. Oh my God. Remember, Eric doesn't do wrestling references. We can't do that. All right, Chris, great job.
Hold on, would
bringing-
this be better if we just...
Should we just do
You
wrestling
want to
references?
cut me
for
out
the
of this
whole time?
entirely? Sure.
You've gone to a wrestling show with me.
Do you think I retained anything? from
Yes,
that?
because you remember the fan running in on the match with Triple H and Batista and
I
getting
do
his ass
remember that,
kicked.
yes.
There we go.
Okay.
Every time, by the way, that WWE has come to Victoria, the last 3 times, there has been fan incidences.
Wow.
I was there for 2 of them.
All right.
All right. Well, Chris, all jokes aside, congratulations. You've been threatening to improve your team, and boy, have you. The
Yep.
league's most improved team at the start. Now prove it. Get into the playoffs.
Yep.
Who is next at number, are we at 11?
We are at 11. This is
Okay, so this is the last
set.
of this video. And
Yeah.
look at this, look at the time.
Yeah, we're right on
Crushing
track
it.
here.
Number 11.
This one's interesting because they are the smallest gap between any 2 teams in the entire rankings is
Yeah.
between this team and Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, less than 200ths of an OV average point.
Whoa,
These
okay.
folks are even Steven based
All
on
right.
this.
Oh, and I know this. I know this fellow.
You do, and
He's-
also
he's integral to the site
well
and the league.
compared to Hamilton that rose 17. This person went up 1 spot.
But he did go up.
He went up.
He went up. Okay.
Again, even Steven.
Right.
Edmonton.
The Edmonton
Our
Super.
glorious Supersonics
The
deputy
Edmonton-
commissioner.
The Edmonton Supersonics.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Mike
Once again,
Franken-Cheesy.
right near the top 10.
Yeah, always. Always
Can they-
right there on the edge.
Can they push through this year,
Edge.
Matt? Macar's injured. He has a boo-boo.
He has a big boo-boo
That's not
as
fair.
well. Was it like a 2-monther?
Maybe plus, actually.
Oh, where is he?
Yeah, it's about 2 months.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big
Okay.
ouchie to start
So-
the year for his most important player.
Like
that's
that,
not fun.
that's the tricky thing.
Yes.
For the Supersonics, the defense is solid.
Yeah.
But without Makar, it definitely takes a step back. They lack that big punch in net. Now, the good news is they've got 270 overall goalies, so
Right.
they're going to be less impacted by the inevitable injuries and fatigue that happens with goaltenders.
Mhm.
There won't be a lot of leeway, but when you've got when you're lacking that upper tier of the goaltending, and you're now missing Cale Makar, there's not a team in the league that can absorb losing Cale Makar.
Yeah.
I worry a little bit about how the start of the year is going to go. I will say, on a personal note, like their forward group has some of a number of forwards who I really enjoy personally, like Horvat
Yeah.
and Alex Tuck, Tom Wilson, Eilers, like are a bunch of fun guys to watch play hockey. Barclay Goodrow as well, notwithstanding his contractual situation.
Yeah.
Like so he's got a lot of guys who like when their teams are on, like that's a fun shift to see. They're a good team. They're going to be competitive.
Right.
I don't know how far they're going to go, but like this is a group that nobody's going to want to see in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
No,
For sure.
it's going to be a bloodbath as usual.
Especially once everybody figures out where my car is.
And the sim loves Horvat,
Yes.
right? Every time. I think he led the league. Did he lead
He led the league in points by a wide
last year?
margin,
Yeah,
too,
he
if I
was
remember right.
really. He was a monster. Mike knows
Yeah.
the sim really well.
Yep.
There were a couple times last year where he was in the top 5 of the power rankings, maybe I think even a little bit higher. So like always a threat. Like going forward now, along with Hamilton, like won't be a surprise to see him kind of go on a like an 8-2 or a 9-1 run for the power rankings. Final thoughts on the Supersonics.
Before Eric goes, I will
Please.
also note, like, it's important to recognize that I Mike has insulated perhaps his softer defense with a very, very good defensive forward group. So when you look at his roster, a lot of his guys have strong defensive ratings,
Right.
and I suspect that is not an accident.
What's that like? I need good defensive forwards. I don't have
That way, not to tip my hand too much, but that was the recipe of success for the Schooners for all 3 championships. Was
okay.
a lot of big DF forwards.
You should have told me that earlier. I mean,
It's public information, but there we
is it? Your brain isn't public information until now.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, great job, Mike. Number 11 is the Intrepid Supersonics.
Oh, and I should mention too.
Oh, okay.
12 for forwards, 9 defense, 20 goaltending.
Okay.
So,
So goaltending.
as Matt mentioned, the
might hold back a
goaltending,
bit.
there's tons of depth there.
Yeah.
It's great that they've got 3 solid goalies, but there isn't any one set starter.
Right.
This is really like a 1B kind of platoon.
1A, 1B. Okay.
Well, no 1A is just
Mike
1B.
is obviously
It's like 3 1As,
I thought you
1Bs.
I thought you forgot something.
No,
okay.
no,
Okay.
no,
One busies.
Yes.
and obviously Mike is a stalwart of the league. He's a classic of the league. The beverage is Coca-Cola.
Yes. Timeless.
Of course, timeless.
Bubbly.
It's a weird. I'm not disagreeing, but
Syrupy.
okay, this is getting weirder. Let's end this.
Fizzy. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. That is teams 20 to 11. Stick around. We're going to get to teams 10 to the number 1. You're never going to guess who's number 1. You won't guess.
It's a shocker.
Because you're going to watch instead.